policy.
Rose let 50 cents. No phone, no food, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes.
That's the difference between me
2
and him.
hours of pushing.
But I can find them.
12,
2 hours is as long as it takes to get your nicotine back up in your system because of the biological half-life. King of the road.
Trailers for sale and rent. Rooms let 50 cents. No phone, no food, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes.
2 hours of pushing broom. It's a song about hobos. Alexa, pause. It's a song about hobos. He talks about singing and knowing everybody along the road from here to there, and the conductors and their kids and everything like that. And it just reminds me of, my dad. You see, remember when he said he was watching those people climb up the walls of the Capitol building, and he said they were like monkeys? Yeah. And I said, and I realized I've never heard a prejudice thing come out of him. He wasn't thinking of them as black people. He said these people crawling the walls are like monkeys. I mean, this is the same man. See, this I find more to love about the guy as time goes by. All these memories and everything. He's the one that when I was in Mississippi, in 2nd grade, we took a trip down to see my mom's sister and her husband in Mississippi, and my dad and my aunt's husband. They drank a lot together, and they're drinking their beers, and I'm sitting there, and the uncle in Mississippi is teaching me to say the word nigger. And my dad said, no, you don't say that. And the uncle's going, oh, come on. And I'm just a little impressionable kid. And my dad stopped me from saying that. Probably because he didn't want me saying it in the gas station on the way out of town. I don't know. It may have been a protective measure. But this is a guy that never saw things as being racist. And he tells this story of I have always grown up next to cemeteries and train tracks. You'll hear the train coming every once in a while through here when I'm talking. But they had train tracks running right through, at the back of the property where near their house was. And so they had hobos because of the 30s, 40s, the, recession, depression, war. And it was acceptable for people back then just to be drifters. See, that was a time to live right there. Nobody had a job, and it was acceptable that people were going to be making their way down the train lines and trying to get work somewhere just existing. And I have to think the majority of those were really adventurous people. The rest of them, the real bums, they just stayed in the middle of New York City. They didn't go anywhere. People would give them food from there. But these guys were out, and they had a work ethic. And he talks about the one time, he said, and he talks about this like an innocent. He said, this one man, he came up, he was a black man. He was a big black man. And he came up and said, ma'am, my grandma answered the door. He makes that a point. Grandma answered the door, and she directed the hobos, is what it amounts to. She could use help, and she would give people work, and they would work for food. And and Grandma says, well, I can put you to work. He said he was well dressed, and he just said if I could do some work for you for some food. And so that's as close to racism as you get from my dad, is just recognizing that there's somebody there that might scare the hell out of somebody, but it wasn't a problem at all. This is stereotypical shit. That's why you don't trust somebody in the next county, because they look a little different through their own breed of inbreeding. Yeah, you gotta be careful. But here we are singing Trailer for Sale Rent. It's about hobos.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Boxcar Willie?